Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Chaseontwowheels here, and ladies and gentlemen, can y'all hear that? That's right, boys and girls, it's raining today. It's been raining a lot here in Georgia. Let me show you. Disgusting. So, since it's been raining so much, I said to myself, you know what? You guys out there don't need to be thinking just because it's raining, that means you can't ride. No, that means you can ride in every weather. Don't worry about the rain. So today, ladies and gentlemen, Bo, should I take the R7 or the MT-07?
Hey, why don't you say ladies and gentlemen one more time?
You didn't even answer my question.
MT-07!
I'm taking the R7. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys 5...
Actually, you know what? That's a really good idea because you lose your fucking mind on the MT-07.
True. Ladies and gentlemen...
You son of a bitch!
Guys, it won't stop raining in Georgia. I want you guys to feel comfortable riding in the rain. I got 5 things you guys need to know if you're going to ride in the rain. And you should ride in the rain. It will make you a better rider probably. So, let's get into the list. Guys, this video is sponsored by Squarespace. They are the place to go for creating a website or an online store, but we'll talk about those guys later in the video. All right, guys, step 1, visibility. You guys see this disgusting visor right here? I need to see out of this. If you've never ridden in the rain, a lot of rain gets on your face. Here's a tip to get it off that visor. This is not a sponsorship, but this stuff works really well. Step 1. Step 2. If you guys have never used Rain-X, it's essentially oil that you wipe on your visor, and I just used it to clean my visor, but now when I go out and ride in that torrential downpour, water will go on my visor and hopefully it will wick off. Here's another tip. When you're riding, we are moving forward. If you look to the left, the wind of you moving forward will clean off the water from the left side of the visor. If you look right, the air will push the water off of that side of the visor. So instead of doing this like face wipe thing, put Rain-X on before you go, and then when you're out there, boop, boop, it'll clear your visor every time, I promise, most of the time. Next tip. All right, my friends, step 2, it is all about the gear. Let me get closer. You guys don't understand. Riding in the rain has nothing to do with the motorcycle and all about you, because at the end of the day, you don't want to get to your location and your butt be wet or your shoes be full of water. So I have 3 highly recommended pieces of gear that if you have these 3 things, suddenly, is it raining? Does it matter? Nope. Here's my 3 things that I have to have if I'm gonna ride in the rain. And they're actually not that expensive. Yes, these things are wet. I did ride to work this morning in the rain. I'm sorry they're wet and they don't look beautiful, and there's no cinematic footage of them. First thing is your feet. I have ridden in the rain where my feet got soaking wet. Bo, do you remember the other day where I came back and I dumped my boot out and rain and water fell out? I had to call my wife to get her to bring me clothes because I was not prepared for the rain. Waterproof boots. I know these things are gigantic and you can get whatever waterproof boots you want, but if you go to like Revzilla or something like that, look for waterproof. All that means it's not gonna flow air, but it means water won't get in. And I'm telling you, dude, when you step inside and you're wet and your feet are going, that is not comfortable. You can get any waterproof you want. These are Icon Joker boots. I like that they zip up in the back, and I like that they're tall. They need to be tall. That is super important because it tags in with the next gear that you gotta have. Crucially, whoa, that's wet. Next up, crucially important and really not that expensive, frog togs. Luke put me onto these. Look at this. They're like little overpants that you wear over your pants, so that's how the name. Overpants. I don't know what this material is, but it's stretchy, right? And it repels water. So I'm gonna put these on. Maybe I can. Okay, so yeah, they just go on over your pants, and yes, let's get this out of the way. You're gonna look stupid. You're gonna look dumb in rain gear, but you know who's not gonna be laughing? You, cause you're dry. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Frog Togs keeps your pants area dry. I will say, before you put them on, take your wallet out, because they don't have pockets, because pockets will get wet. Okay, so now I need shoes. Okay, here's why these gotta be tall. Frog Togs are gonna come down to here, but they need to go on top of your boot. Show you guys what I mean. All right, boot is on, right? But water could get into here, so Frog Tog upper layer over the boot. No water's getting into that, baby. Woo! Okay, second boot, Frog Tog over boot. Woohoo! Final thing that we got to keep dry, because now we got the bottom half dry, we need the top half dry. But it's not a rainproof riding jacket. I'll show you what it is. This is just a Engine Hawk UV jacket. It's not waterproof. It's leather, but it's not waterproof. Okay, I would probably be okay riding in this. I'd get a little wet, but here's what I don't like. I don't like having one jacket that's waterproof, because then it's this big thing that you always have to have. If you have a liner that you can put on any jacket, this liner gets this tiny, and I can always have it with me, and I never have to worry about it, and I can just wear whatever jacket I like wearing all the time. So the one I have had, and this is the liner I've always had, is Revit's. I'll have a link in the description. I don't know what the technical item product term for this thing is, but when you guys order one, make sure you order a size bigger than you would wear, because as you guys can see, it has to fit over the jacket. Liner up, and then you got to button it down to make sure there's no water getting in. I don't know if they make an overpants version of this, but this jacket is so good that I would buy it if they did. If they have a pants version of this jacket, I'll let you guys know, because I love this jacket. Here's the other thing. If you have this jacket, let's just say it's raining generally. You can still use the jacket. You don't got to just use it when it's raining and you're riding.
Good old general rain.
Good old when it's just general rain. I love the multi-purpose of it, and these things aren't that expensive. At most, it's probably like a couple $100. I've used this on multiple occasions where I just throw it in the car. Like if me and Heather are gonna go shoot a wedding, I've actually had to wear this at a wedding before where it rained, and I was dry, and nobody else was. I love the multi-purpose of this little thing. I will have links in the description for this specific one. Now, you're probably wondering, Chase, what about your hands? Now, yes, there are waterproof gloves, and if you guys really care, then by all means, grab waterproof gloves. Here's the thing that I don't care about and why I don't mind if my hands get wet. I'll show you. Okay, I have wet hands. I no longer have wet hands. So, I don't really care about waterproof gloves because I can literally dry my hands off with my dry pants underneath my Frog Togs. I don't really worry about waterproof gloves because most of the time they're like winter gloves where they're like really thick. I would rather have wet hands and be able to feel my controls on my motorcycle than have dry hands and just be a marshmallow man. Got enough marshmallow going on, and I'm not talking about the gear. Alright guys, that's it for the gear. Now, let's go out and ride and hope to God that my audio and video equipment don't get ruined in the rain. Let's jump on the bike and get wet. Or not get wet. Let's stay dry, but get in the wet. Alright boys, let's get wet. No, we're not getting wet. We're staying dry.
Saying that.
I hope my audio pipe doesn't get messed up.
Could have just wrapped it in something.
That's true. Before we continue, guys, we got to pay some bills, so let's talk about Squarespace real quick. For you guys that live under a tire, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build an amazing online presence and run your business. Using them is super simple to set a website up. As a matter of fact, before we even brought them on as a sponsor, I've been using them for my Chaseontwowheels website for years now, and let me tell you guys, I have no idea, shocker, what I'm doing when it comes to building websites. Luckily, their site makes it super simple to just drag and drop elements you want. Next thing you know, boom, you've got a website put together. Since we're talking about rain gear in this video, let me show you guys how easy it is to add photos to Squarespace's website. Let's add this rain gear recommendations to my site. As you guys can see, you just click on the little plus button to add new elements, and then you can drag them around wherever you want. And boom, now we've got rain gear options on the website. You guys can go check that out at Chaseontwowheels.com. Even if you aren't good at designing a layout for your page, Squarespace has some awesome gallery options that you can use to show off your photos and your videos. If you're getting started making a YouTube channel, grabbing a Squarespace site is a must to make sure that you're promoting yourself on a website that you actually have control of, not only here on YouTube. If you guys are ready to make a site of your own, go check out squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/chaseontwowheels to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using code chaseontwowheels. Back to the video. All right guys, so first step, well, let's handle something first. Yes, this is a voiceover because, well, you'll find out later in the video. The first step when we're here on the road riding with a motorcycle while it's raining is the fact that we have less traction, and this is going to feed into some of the tips that I have. First off is leaning. You want to lean the bike less than you typically would when you're riding on dry conditions. That's because your tires have less traction when there's water on the ground. There's also oil mixed with that water on the ground that has dropped from cars that's going to make the ground really slippery, especially in the first 10 to 15 minutes while it's raining. You guys might even notice some like little oil patches on the road. Avoid those at all costs because they are going to be more slick. Speaking of more slick, you guys see this white stuff on the road, all the little road directions and stuff like that. The paint that they use on this, like the type of paint that this white and yellow stuff is much slipperier than the asphalt that you're typically riding on. It doesn't mean you're going to instantly slide out if you ride over it. There are some things you can do to avoid that. Mainly maintaining a constant throttle, and like I said earlier, leaning as little as possible as you can. That's going to involve you leaning off the bike more than you actually leaning the bike. That's going to help you navigate through these things. But the most important thing you need to remember when you're going over these white parts, constant throttle, constant lean. Don't make any changes while over the white parts. That's going to keep you as safe as you possibly can. Next up, speaking about that traction, let's talk about follow distance. Now, typically, I'm pretty bad about this. A lot of you guys that watch me ride know this. You need to maintain extra follow distance of a car in front of you while it's raining. Now, there's a couple reasons for this. One, you need more space to slow down in case they come to an emergency stop or something like that. It's going to take you longer to slow down because, like I said, we have less traction while riding in the wet. Now, there is an added benefit to not following so closely while in the rain, and I'm going to show you guys with an example of this little gray car that's next to us. Just wait till we get going. Okay, now, could you guys see the back of this car? Can you see all the water that the car is actually throwing up right behind the car? If you follow too closely, all the grimy, nasty water that car is throwing up off the ground is going to hit you all over your motorcycle, your helmet, your gloves, your gear. This stuff is nasty. Now, if you compare that to here, there's nobody in front of me. I'm just riding down the road. The only water that's actually hitting me is the rain that's coming down from the sky, which is not a big deal. It's basically clean water. I don't care about that. This is especially apparent when you follow one of these Jeep Wranglers that have like extra wide tires. Bro, they have a whole waterfall coming off the back of them, and trust me, you're gonna follow one of those guys for 2 minutes and be like, okay, cool, I'm never doing this again. All right, guys, final thing we need to talk about that is also going to relate to this traction mentality is putting the power down on the motorcycle. We all know motorcycles are incredibly fast things that we like riding. When you have less traction, that also means you have less traction on your rear wheel, which is where your motorcycle delivers all of its power. You guys watch, I'm gonna do this little U-turn right here. Now, typically, I'm on this R7, I wanna have a good time. I would typically just pin the throttle and just haul butt to catch up with traffic. But because it's raining, I'm going to be super careful. I'm going to shift way earlier, and I'm going to twist my throttle way less because I want to maintain traction on my back tire. I don't want it sliding all over the place. This is also a time, if you have a motorcycle with something like power modes or something like that, rain mode is going to be your best friend. The rain mode will automatically dial the power of your motorcycle down, so you don't even have to. If you're like me and you're on a motorcycle without modes, with no technology like the R7 here, you just got to do it with your hand. Luckily, we have ABS on this motorcycle, so if I did have to slam on the front or the rear brakes in a less than ideal traction environment, that is going to help the motorcycle tires not actually lock up and slide out. Ideally, I would have traction control or something like that, but unfortunately, the R7 doesn't have it. All right, first, helmet off. Obviously, it's dead. I'll do a voiceover of the GoPro or the riding part.
Kill the Tascam?
I think I killed the Tascam. Okay, bonus tip: don't use audio equipment. Hey, the GoPro's still going. Don't use audio equipment in the rain. We'll do a voiceover of the riding part. Look at that, totally dry. Well, almost totally dry.
The important part.
Totally dry. 100%. My hands are wet, but I am dry, which is the important part. Okay, next up, look at my pants. Like, look how much wetness is down here. All right, boots off.
Hey, having all black gear is a great idea.
Yeah, all right, so look. Fresh foot. Look at that. Oh, God, okay, I'm ruining everything, but it's fine. All right, feet are dry. Well, they were before I stepped in this giant puddle of water they've created. We have to move this way. The moment of truth, nobody wants wet pants. Oh no, I have a wet crotch. I might have a hole. All right.
Fail!
Other than the crotch, though.
That's the most important part!
I'll agree, I've never had a wet crotch. Moving on. So, look at that. Totally dry. This is torrential downpour.
Totally dry.
Totally dry. Look at that. Okay, what have we learned? One, Chase needs to wear a hat. Where's my hat? Okay, here's what we learned. All the things I did a voiceover on because my audio thing died. Secondly, Chase might have a hole in his frog togs because this is the first time this has ever happened, conveniently, since we're filming a YouTube video. But you shouldn't worry about riding in the rain if you wear the right gear.
No, keep doing it.
No, it kind of was stretching areas that shouldn't be stretched. Okay, guys, my whole point for this video, don't be scared to ride in the rain. Wear the right gear, ride the right ride. You know, throttle, leaning over, braking, follow distance. Keep all these things in mind. And it doesn't matter if it's raining or not. You can always go for a ride. You just got to be a little more careful. I think that's all I got in the video. I'm going to go sit on a fan so my crotch dries up. You guys in the comments, RIP for my audio recorder. It's been a good audio recorder. I'm kind of sad to see it go. For science, we killed it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have been riding for a long time, drop some of your riding tips in the comments down below. And that way, if you guys are looking for more tips other than what we've talked about here, you'll have them in the comments down below. Make sure to hit the like button if I saved your life while riding a motorcycle in the rain. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure to subscribe for motorcycle content. And you guys make sure to subscribe for more motorcycle content here on the Chaseontwowheels YouTube channel. And we'll see you on the next one. Later. Alright, so if you're still watching the video, that means you made it to the very end, and that means you're in the outro crew. What that means is we love you longer because you made it through the entire video. Now, outro crew, let us know in the comments down below, are you a fair... Wow, my pants are so wet. Let us know in the comments down below if you are a fair weather rider, or if you ride in the rain as well. Hopefully you wear something better than frog. I need to look up... We're going to have a link to better pants in the comments, or in the description. It didn't get to my butt, though. So, you know, pros and cons. All right, OC. Love you guys a long time. We'll see you in the comments. I'll just be here
the rest of the day
with a wet crotch.